But yeah, Nicaragua, I mean, it's pretty cheap. I mean, yeah, it's cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't want to.
Nicaragua was amazing. I'm like in love with it. It's just
Inexpensive
I was.
inexpensive, hot, like yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, was it
for
like
us.
humid down there? It's like, or was it like a dry heat? What was it like down there?
So I wouldn't say it's too humid. I'd say
No,
Florida is more humid actually.
Florida's more
Oh
humid.
God, yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's weird
Florida's,
because it's like in that Caribbean section. So
yeah.
We,
It's not like I don't know, it was a little dry. Managua was a little bit drier than humid, but it wasn't
yeah,
dry either.
it wasn't dry.
Um, but
so you,
like, you know,
but you
there's a
weren't
lot of
like
people that
soaked, right? You weren't like soaked or anything from the humidity like you would in Florida, right?
no, no. But
Okay,
there's mosquitoes. There's a little bit of that, you know, element where there's mosquitoes in the summer and it gets hot. They don't have like AC everywhere like we are used to having in the States, at least in Florida. Because when I first moved to LA, they didn't have AC everywhere either because it never got that hot, except in
right.
the valley. And, you know, but like everywhere else, it was like you go to a house in West Hollywood and there's like no AC. And it's like, oh, you guys, oh, we just have the window unit. In Pasadena, too, the house, it's an older house. There's only the window unit. There's no central AC. That's what I mean by AC, because that's what we live in Florida. You will die if you don't have like central AC. Like it's bad. But
Yeah.
in Nicaragua, you know, people like open their windows and they think it's warm or it's cool when it's like 80 something degrees. They think that's cold. And I'm like, you guys are like, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, you get used to that Cali temperatures, you know. I mean, there was one day, I think, right, the last year I was there, that summer, there was that was like 2008, I think, and it was humid. It was actually like kind of warm and humid for a couple of days. It wasn't like horrible to me because, like I said, I'm from Mississippi and right down there on the Gulf Coast and the Panhandle of Florida. It's like when you drive into Florida, there's like a wall of water
Yeah.
because it's all humidity. And but dude, it was like I was like, man, it's a little warm today. Man, that's a little warmer than usual. And everybody else that was there was just freaking the fuck out. Like the sun had gotten like 2 miles away from the earth. They're like, oh God, oh God, I'm dying. I need water. I'm like, really? You know, I would think you'd be more scared of the earthquakes than the humidity. But yeah, you know. But I was going to ask you, what are the weed prices out there like? Okay, because let me preface that because it wasn't like legal, right before I left. Of course, they waited for me to leave, and they're like, "Oh, the fucker's gone. Let's make it legal." So you know, it was like the regular black market prices. But like now, what's it like now?
Well, I hear it's better. It was better before
It was.
Really?
because it's not corporatized.
So before, when it was medicinal, it was cheaper, and there was more mom and pop shops around because since it was medicinal, it wasn't as regulated. And I remember going in when I first moved. First of all, you could be from another state and get it if you had a medicinal marijuana card and if you were living, if you could prove you were living here, like without having an ID. And when I first moved, that's what I did. And they had these like dab bars where you would go and like do the dabs, and like they had like bars set up with dab machines, and like they would give you a free dab for your first patient
They,
thing, and
they
like
still do that. They still do that.
free joints,
Nice.
and like but they had like bars of that open till like 3 in the
Oh
morning.
yeah, yeah.
And
There's nothing like that anymore.
they shut that shit down very quickly.
Really?
It was just really cool, and it was a lot cheaper. You could probably get like an eighth. God, like I'm showing how much of us. I haven't smoked in like forever now, but I used to smoke a lot more, and you could get like an eighth for like in a good deal, like for 25, like in some parts, like a decent like strain, or less. If you bought more, it was just so much cheaper. And so usually what my friends and I did, we would just like divide it. Like we had somebody, you know, buy it and then we just divide it. Now it's like, unless you know someone, it's pretty pricey.
Yeah.
And also I don't smoke as much, so I don't know.